Guys, we are under a tornado watch until 10 o'clock. As you can see, the information before the video. They're saying storms are supposed to hit about 6:30. Whether or not that happens, I have no idea. But we're going to continue to monitor the weather. We have some non-severe thunderstorms, which I'm posting currently on YouTube now. Thunderstorms were over. But yes, we are under a tornado watch until 10 o'clock. We have been put up to a moderate risk now. So, this is the way it's currently looking out here as of right now. Not much going on. That wind is picked up. It is humid out here. So, the humidity has crept up. So, and the wind is also picked up. So, we will be monitoring the weather and we'll see what happens. And monitoring the radar and yeah. Ooh-wee. These are the current conditions currently. Just gonna have to keep an eye. To see what happens. This may be a false alarm, don't know, but you never know, so we will be monitoring the weather.
Basically right over us. It includes all of downtown Chicago and all of Cook County and across much of, if not almost all of our viewing area. So we're on the lookout. We have a tornado watch, which has been issued by the National Weather Service. Will remain in effect until 10 p.m. The critical time, though, is going to be closer to 5 to 8 for Chicago, and then probably close to 8 to 10 as you get to Northwest Indiana. That's the timing of these storms and their arrival. Let's take a look at the satellite radar composite. Right now we have showers and thunderstorms, nothing heavy there, nothing really severe to worry about as you look at the portion of Lake County at this time. We're watching this one near Crystal Lake in McHenry County. These storms could possibly tap into a very favorable atmosphere, favorable environment for the development of tornadoes. And also out here, there was a tornado warning earlier in portions of southern Wisconsin. This is the line that we are really going to focus on. As it plummets through our region, there's going to be the potential, we think, for some spin. And right now, it's about 80 miles away from at least downtown Chicago. So here's our storm tracker for that line. Should be close to Rockford right about now. Harlan by 5:07, Belvedere by 5:21, into Bonus by 5:29, and well into our region at Marengo by about 5:42. So again, the 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock period is where we are really on the lookout there. Coming up in the 7-day forecast, we're going to talk about why this is such a weird day to see a tornado threat, and also what comes next as we expect a lot of rain later this week. Back to you, Tim.
9.0 feet. This is known as Weather Radio KZ81 Lockport. Severe weather is occurring or forecast to occur in our listening area. This station will broadcast severe weather along tones for Cook, Lake, DuPage, Will, Kane, Kimball, Kankakee, and Grundy counties in Illinois, as well as Lake County in Indiana. Standard broadcasts will be curtailed to bring you the latest severe weather information. Severe weather is occurring or forecast to occur in our listening area. This station will broadcast severe weather along tones for Cook, Lake, DuPage, Will, Kane, Kendall, Kankakee, and Grundy counties in Illinois, as well as Lake County in Indiana. Standard broadcasts will be curtailed to bring you the latest severe weather information. The current time is 5:43 p.m. Central Daylight Time. The National Weather Service in Chicago has issued a tornado warning for northeastern Kendall County in northeastern Illinois, northwestern Will County in northeastern Illinois, southeastern King County in northeastern Illinois, southwestern DuPage County in northeastern Illinois until 6 p.m. At 5:37 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Oswego, moving east at 25 miles per hour. Hazard, tornado. Source, radar indicated rotation. Impact, flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Both homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. This dangerous storm will be near Aurora around 5:40 p.m. Vaporville around 5:50 p.m. Plainfield around 5:55 p.m. Other locations in the path of this tornadic thunderstorm include Bolingbrook and Romeoville, including the following Interstate 55 near mile marker 262. Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you are outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. The following is a river flood warning from the National Weather Service. For the following county, Cook, Illinois. What? Minor flooding is forecast. Where? Thorn Creek from near Glenwood downstream to confluence with Little Calumet River, including the Thornton Gauge. When? Until tomorrow morning. Impacts at 9.0 feet. Water begins to be diverted through Thorn Creek Diversion Tunnel. Additional details. At 12:40 p.m. Wednesday, the stage was 8.6 feet. Forecast. The river is expected to rise above flood stage early this afternoon to a crest of 9.3 feet late this afternoon and evening. It is then expected to fall below flood stage late tonight. Flood stage is 9.0 feet. This is known as Weather Radio KZ81 Lockport. Severe weather is occurring or forecast to occur in our listening area. This station will broadcast severe weather long tones for Cook, Lake, DuPage, Will, Kane, Kendall, Kankakee, and Grundy counties in Illinois, as well as Lake County in Indiana. Standard broadcasts will be curtailed to bring you the latest severe weather information.
Springfield, Missouri area to take off here, and also east to Kansas. And we watch this area for the next couple hours, so focuses will be diverted once the threat starts up down there, but right now we are primarily focused on the tornado threat up. Hopefully that's gotten everybody up to speed who's just joining. Welcome, and thank you guys for being here. Make sure we're getting the word out right as these storms are entering the major population centers and posing a tornadic threat here. So we have one tornado warning for those just joining. It is in just outside of Naperville, Illinois, to the southwest of the center of the city there, center of the suburb. And generally, it looks like the storm is struggling just a little bit, but we are really close to the radar site. You can see almost the fact that there's several showers around it is pushing this thing off to maybe a little bit off to the north and east. But the tornado threat is difficult to identify. It would actually occur in the center of the polygon down here with the hook of the storm essentially as it extends down. So just because you can't see it on radar doesn't mean that the threat is not located in this specific spot. And I think that that would continue to take this east path towards those areas I called out. Oak Lawn, LaGrange are downstream of this tornado warning storm. So yeah, you might think nothing is happening in the warning right now, but because we're close to the radar site, we can't actually really see, right next to the surface what's going on. Radar doesn't tell us everything, but we can take some clues from it, some contextual clues, and basically identify where something would occur, which is right in this area. So everybody in the polygon, the storm's about to exit the polygon first and foremost here, so this warning will likely be allowed to expire as we wait for any tight rotation.
So there is a tornado warning for downtown Chicago. And here's the conditions, what it looks like over here. I'm in Northwest Indiana, so. Let's see here. On the radar. It is humid and it is hot. It's warmed up actually. The humidity is definitely up, as you can see. Got blue skies over here, but dark clouds cut over here. And as you can see. And the tornado is confirmed on the ground, so. That wind is something too. The sun is currently out too, so.
south side of downtown here that is not yet producing a tornado, but could shortly here if it gets its act together further. We'll have the first look at that here. So, TRP wasn't working. Interesting call for red. I don't think this radar works. So I don't know why you called it. Yeah, that's bad information. Don't listen to Riley there. That's bad information. This radar hasn't been working for 20 minutes. That's our rule 20. Alright, can't be spreading misinformation. Come on now. I gotta turn the light screen. I gotta turn the light screen. Hurry. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. It's gonna get nasty. That's misinformation. Let me see what I can do. I'm gonna do this.
So close to Center Lake County, I'll kind of move the map so you can see. This is our new line here. Lake Zurich right in the middle of this thing. This one just as you know, used to go to service and it expires at 7 observed tornado. Oh, that's something else. It's a new one that just came out, right? So in Cook County, for Cook County, tornado producing along the line of South Elgin to Wayne, east at about 35 miles per hour. So basically, in here, it looks like we have observers for possibly, this is not the type of situation where the computer just goes wacky and then the next day you find out there was nothing. It looks to me like we have some dangerous tornadoes that are moving through, one potentially bearing down upon the city of Chicago, another one moving through portions of Southern Lake County, another one moving through southeastern McHenry County, maybe the same one there, but either way, either way, you got to treat it like it's something you need to be prepared for something like that.
For those people at home wondering why we have such a stirring of tornado cells going on right now, explain to us why this is happening.
First off, this is a view from the Sears Tower, and I don't even think, is this rotating, folks? I mean, look at this. Look at what's happening.
There is some rotation.
Look at what's happening. I mean, right before our eyes here, we are seeing a supercell thunderstorm that is rotating and creating a lowering wall cloud just outside of the city of Chicago from the Willis Tower.
Are we looking to the right, left? Where do you see
This
that?
is towards the southwest. Judging by the sun, I would say the sun.
Tells us where we're on the screen. We're on the screen. Where are we looking?
Oh, right in the middle, left-hand portion of the screen, but I mean, it's huge. It's huge. It's the whole. I mean, especially on the left-hand portion of your screen, you see how that is it's just moving in a different direction.
Yeah, I can see that.
You
You don't
see
know
that?
which one this is. Which tornado warning?
Oh no, this is definitely someone. This is definitely this is Cook County. This is and this one right now is this I think from Hancock. Yeah. So this one's looking southwest. So you're probably looking at that same cell on the right-hand portion of your screen. And notice that there is not, at least from that, there isn't a tornado, but that is a massive area of rotation and over a highly populated area. Anyone within this camera view should be in a safe area, as Tim mentioned in the apartment building. The safest place would be interior area.
Any walls between you and the storm.
Right.
Usually that's a stairwell.
Usually that's a stairwell, not an elevator. Not an elevator shaft. Don't try to use the elevator. And if there are any other types of homes out there, obviously mobile homes are very dangerous. Cars are very dangerous. We're talking about Kennedy. We're talking about Ryan at this time. And those are areas. And also right along west of O'Hare, there is a tornado warning for what was a confirmed tornado that moved through the Camden Hills area in Kane County. So, we could be looking at, before this night is done, a tornado having moved through Midway and potentially O'Hare.
So we're talking about several cells, a huge amount of real estate that's going on right now. Everyone, you said 3.1 million people. All these cells are going at least 35 miles per hour. We saw a little bit of rotation from the Willis Tower just a second ago. This is potentially very dangerous to people who are outside. Get inside to take cover. And you talked to us a little bit earlier, I think it was in the 5 o'clock hour, that you thought this would become very hazardous. Why is it so bad right now?
Well, first off, what we're seeing, and I feel like in one direction, that 3.1 million, that's just one line. We have, I would say something, after, you can probably add over 250,000 something like that. Kane, western Cook County, and down northwestern DuPage County. So you can probably add, it's probably upwards of 4 million people or something like that. Bill, what you got? And can we turn Bill's mic up, please?
I've got confirmed video here from somebody that's in a hotel near O'Hare, and I see a rotating funnel cloud near O'Hare Airport. So this is just unfathomable that we could have 2 tornadoes touch down on the same day and affect both of our major airports. This is really, really extraordinary.
You gotta believe that there are a lot of people who are being delayed.
Yes.
If you're headed to the airport, you better call your airlines right now, because I doubt you're taking out a return flight.
I would say no way.
Yeah.
Probably the ground stoppage for sure.
Yeah, at this point, guys, are you hearing about is it too early to know if there have been actual damage reports here? And talk about the difference between the event that you saw and the spotter versus the radar indicator.
Well, we have, typically, when you're talking about a scenario like this, you don't necessarily have so much spotter viewing from this. Let's go to Max 1. And I don't mean to change the subject here, but let's go to Max 1, because this is concerning here, what we're seeing. So what we're looking at right now is the Doppler, the velocity. Everything in the red direction is headed away from the Doppler, which is near the Joliet area in Will County. Everything that's green is headed toward the Doppler. Now I'm going to pause this to right now. Let's pop me on camera. It's the easiest way. So we said there's a potential for maybe a funnel cloud. So right here, you want to talk about the careful? So listen, red headed away, green headed toward. This is where there's almost full circular rotation. This is where there's probably rotation also. There's Schaumburg, Chicago's down here. Here's DuPage County. You're watching us from DuPage County. You are in tornado also. Just follow this line. And look at how these areas just kind of kink in there. Each one of these could be a tornado. The least you're going to find when you see this here, strong winds, damaging winds, dangerous winds. But each one of these could be a tornado. It's something that our Doppler would, kick off, our just typical algorithms would kick off a tornado warning just from seeing something like this. We've had spotters, we have National Weather Service actually see a funnel cloud in their area. Bill's going to hopefully get that video on soon. Maybe they'll some rotation as you look towards the O'Hare area. Tim, go ahead.
So forward, as these storms track to the east, as we've been talking about, we've got word that the tornado warning is now expired for Kane County. The tornado has now expired for Camden County. So those places are now in the clear. And a couple of lake reports we're seeing here as well. Looks like areas around Camden Hills, large trees, 20 inches in diameter down in the river and homes in some of these areas that are less than eligible.
In the city limits of Chicago. Our new supercells here that might be tornadic currently are not warned in the vicinity of downtown Chicago. They should be over the lake soon. We watch them very closely, so no tornado ongoing yet. I would just be staying in my safe spot anywhere in Chicago. Anywhere in Chicago, I would be staying in my safe spot because the day is not really over yet. These storms up here are generally traveling due east, could have the chance to also propagate to the east-southeast. Okay. So once again, let's go look at Pennsylvania too, because that popped up. Jefferson County in Pennsylvania. I meant to go over there, but it's just with so much going on right now. So we had a warning up here, Jefferson County. Let's take a quick.
Alright, so Cook County's canceled at this time. There's no, wait, which one? We have Cook County.
Then you have one also in southern Cook County.
Yeah, the one to the northwest is still in effect until 7 p.m. That's the cell that produced the tornado in South Elgin. That cell is still in effect right now over Lake Zurich, Vernon Hills, Buffalo Grove, Northbrook, Highland Park. If you're in those areas, you should certainly take cover, or if you haven't already.
Now, the thing about that one is, like you said, the thing about the one that's moving to Charlotte, that means they can confirm tornado can't be
Awesome. So I think this is probably going to be the end of this warning and the tornado threat of that cell. I hope it dies off like that, like it continues to do so. Let's go back to Chicago. Guys, I can't do anything about Ryan's stream crash. I'm glad 7,000 people have told me. I'm glad they have. Ryan's purpose today was to cover a particularly dangerous situation for Chicago downtown. That was put in place. That is what he did. If he crashed, he will not be back on. So we will continue to cover it here. We will continue to cover it here. Yeah, that's typical Aaron. I appreciate the information. He got kicked off the internet. Yeah. All right. So latest information. Let's look at the. Wow, man, look at that. There's even blue skies behind us from the Midway Airport. You see that? The rain goes over the airport, and there's blue skies behind us. I think that. I don't know. I don't think we'll see too many more storms forming down in this region. If that is the case, we see more tornado possible storms forming down here along this boundary back here. You can see it. We'll have another round of a possible severe threat for areas that were just impacted right in the vicinity of Hodgkins here. All right, so getting very close to all these storms in the first round, moving off toward the Lake of Michigan and over the lake. So the only ones left that are concerning are just the south of Cicero and Chicago. This is basically the only one that's concerning right here, but it is very small, and it's probably a little bit more time to go before it could probably mature. No other tornado warnings here in the south side of the metro at the moment, as these storms remain non-tornadic for the time being. Okay, that's the latest update down there. In the west side of the metro, near Bloomingdale, north of Wheaton, and toward the Bensenville area, Elk Grove Village. We talked about you guys earlier how there could be several warnings for you today, and in that case, we want to make sure you know that each one that comes through is new. It is a unique warning. It will be a separate storm as we get the second line moving through here. So from the radar orientation, unfortunately, there's almost nothing I can see here. So we're looking due north through the radar here, so it can be a bit tough to tell if there is an active tornado ongoing in any of these three spots, where we would see winds coming together like this and rotating on the right side of your screen. So all three of these are worth continuing the tornado warning east. Again, that's going to include ORD, the airport here, Chicago Airport, O'Hare. And if it's not already ongoing, that will cause a sheltering event at the airport. If you know somebody there, or you are at the airport at O'Hare, it's a good idea to go ahead and get in the shelters, in the bathrooms. The signs will point you to the tornado shelters in the bathrooms ahead of the crowd, if you can, so that you can avoid any injuries due to trampling or being in a crowd in case you fall over. So if you're at risk due to that, physical disability and so forth, go ahead and get in the shelters ahead of time. I've called that out a few times now, so hopefully I can reach some people that will remain safer by taking action earlier at the airport. Right, so more than likely we're going to see that tornado warning issue. That would include the Chicago O'Hare Airport area in these interstates. So you see this pink box back here, that's our tornado warning previously issued as the storms moved from the Elgin area east of Highway 20 here toward I-290. These are still capable of producing tornadoes as they go off to the east, and thus I do believe we'll see another tornado this maybe in the same fashion. That's why I want you to be taking shelter if you are in O'Hare. Yeah, so O'Hare could be next in line. Maybe not for a strong tornado, but there have been several. There have been several images of the ones that have occurred already. The Midway camera is not going to show me too much of anything right now. It's just going through a couple of showers down there in Oaklawn. So unfortunately I can't see too much down there, or in Summit rather, so it's just going through this heavy shower right now. So I'm not going to be able to see too much from that. Just have to, we'll have it in the vicinity to let you know that stuff is happening. In addition, South Central Lake County in Illinois is under a tornado warning still for this area of rotation right here. Just south of Lake Surrey. That's going to go towards Long Grove, River Woods. It's traveling due east at about 30 miles an hour towards I-94 near Deerfield and Highwood. So right now there may not be a tornado ongoing with this storm. I have reason to believe there may have been a weak tornado with this previously, despite this warning never being confirmed. So we might see the results of that back near Cary and along Highway 14 here. But at the moment, Long Grove is next in the direct line of sight for where the tornado possible part of the storm is, right here south of Lake Surrey. So down the line, that's Deerfield and Highwood as the storm continues off to the east. Okay, that's an update on all the warnings. All the warnings, we did see a tornado report up here east of Huntley, so that definitely confirms my suspicions just a little bit here east of Huntley in Illinois about 35 minutes ago. This radar site is down. Okay, losing radar data is not good. We're gonna have to go to the Midway Airport. I think that's the only one we have left. It's still updating here. It's O'Hare we were not the Chicago radar may be down. I'm not getting updates from that, so let's go over here just to take a peek at anything that might be going on in the last few minutes. Again, still watching for a new warning that would include O'Hare. Currently does not exist. Your storms are a little bit discombobulated here. The most, oh, there it is right there. Okay, so given we have that there, we'll come through the system. Do we hear that one? Or do I need to update this? We currently have 4, so I think it should come through unless everything crashed. Okay, I don't know. No, it should come through. Let's see if it does. Okay, it's time for an Andy warning. Boop-a-da-boop, boop-a-da-boop. New tornado warning issued for northeast DuPage County, northwest Cook County here, Bloomingdale, Bensonville, Addison, Chicago O'Hare Airport just outside of it. Rosemont is just outside this Elk Grove Village. Alright, there we go. We did get an Andy warning in here today. So that didn't come through for some reason. So there you go. There's your new warning. Andy warning coming through. We need a working radar site, please. Cutting off the power to all of these here. Yep, if anybody is just joining, our previous tornado here that went through the Hodgkins and Fur Ridge area likely traveled along this path through Forest View and up even as close to Stickney here, right in this path here, just outside of, or just in the shopping district north of Hodgkins. That's where I'm concerned. Power to these radar sites, and that's why they're not working anymore. So I'm going to take one up here to the Milwaukee radar, just so we can look at this. But we're really not going to be able to see. We're really not going to be able to see too much, which is the unfortunate part of this. We're so far away now from any radar site working, except for the Midway Airport. And I can't see updates very well. So I think a new warning will probably be issued down line here for southeastern Lake County in Illinois. On my best guess, from what I can see from our working radars. So Highwood, Deerfield in Illinois here, this area, Bannockburn, Riverwoods. Please be ready for a tornado warning to come through and to be go ahead and take shelter in the interior most room of your house as it approaches your area. Currently no confirmed tornado ongoing with that storm, but it has a history of producing one almost certainly, and it has a tornado warning just off to your west. So please be ready to take shelter in these areas. Go ahead and do it. Take a pillow, and your shoes with you to the interiormost room of your house or a basement if you have it. Going back to the Midway radar here. In addition to that, if you're in Bensonville, if you're in this area and past I-294 as well to the east of it, Melrose Park, Elmwood Park, Franklin Park, and Norridge Schiller Park here, these areas definitely should be thinking about taking shelter now, as the storms are off to your west. They have a history of producing tornadoes, even if they aren't doing so right now. That would be your primary concern, so go ahead and follow the same instructions and be taking shelter here in these areas if you're living here or you know somebody who is living there. It's an easy checklist. Pillow for your neck, shoes for your feet, just in case you have to walk on anything. Everyone's accounted for, and take me with you. Okay?
The way it's looking at out here currently, it is starting to rain. Clouds are looking like. There isn't a warning with this storm as of yet. These clouds look ominous as I'll get out too. Not raining super heavy, but there is no lightning or thunder with this, but I am going to continue to monitor the weather because I don't know if any of these storms will be heading this way.
It's coming down already.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. Midway Airport got hit with a tornado. Mm-hmm.
Definitely coming.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
It's not been affecting them though.
It probably feels good.
I'm tall, I can hit my life.
I know. There is no lightning with this storm whatsoever, though. Looks more. Now you see, it's kind of light over here. It looks. Like I said, it's really weird. It is really extremely weird, to say the least. I do mean to say the least. Don't know if the storm is rotating or not. Panoramic view. That looks weird. That definitely looks weird. Not saying that's a tornado or anything, but it just looks weird. I was supposed to go. Rain has kind of stopped. Supposed to get on a plane to go to see my fiance for her birthday. But it turns out, yeah, today is not that day. As you can see here. So. Definitely. Yep, this is definitely the current conditions. And where part of it is there's some blue sky in between, like so, like you know. The last time I looked, the dew point was sitting at like 73. I know that. Rained a little bit. The rain has stopped now, so, and like I said, there's no lightning, no thunder with this currently. Definitely continue to monitor the weather. By the way, you can look up Andy Hill on YouTube. He's currently live streaming what's going on. Also. this could be potentially a dangerous situation. You see the sun's peeking out right there. Some of this cloud lighting might be due to the sun. I'm not exactly sure. I'm gonna probably give you a recording what the current radar looks like. Because we're not quite out of the woods, I don't think, yet. I mean, I'm not entirely 100% sure. This might totally bypass us, but it'd be cutting it very close, to say the least. It does on radar look like the storm has kind of fallen apart. Because you can see the sun's out, sort of. Yeah, no, not sort of, but the sun is actually out. And on radar, the storm looks like it's falling apart. But there are certain sections where it just looks nasty. So, and we're not quite out of the woods yet. So, because looking back towards Lake Illinois and all that, it looks extremely dark. The trees are kind of blocking it, but it does look extremely dark. So a lot of this is just, like I said, going to continue to monitor. Especially if these storms get very unpredictable. And the tornado watch is until 10 o'clock tonight, so. But we're looking at the current conditions. I show what the radar looked like. And like I said, on the radar, it looked like the storms have kind of fallen apart. But that doesn't mean there's not going to be more that may head this way. So I will continue to monitor, definitely, airplane. I don't know if they rerouted the planes or not. I will say though, the wind has picked up. You know, the wind has been kind of picked up a lot. So, like I said, the sun's been coming in and out, so we'll just kind of continue to monitor and see what happens.
Right here in the blue circle, and this should pass just off to the north, due east at about 30 miles an hour. Rotation is right over to the east of Skokie here and south of Evanston, the southern part of this, but this is also weak rotation. I would not be surprised if there was a funnel observed with this. So if you saw a funnel here in Evanston, would be surprised with that. We could see a little thin, ropey noodle, coming out of the storm here. I wouldn't be surprised. But with an active tornado, I don't think so. Based on what we can see here, I would be pretty surprised at that. So again, hopefully the impacts are remaining minimal as this continues off to the east. I have not seen evidence that a tornado is doing quite a bit of damage here. All right, so our focus is going to shift over to the other side of Lake Michigan because again, I still think there's a strong water spout ongoing right here. Again, that's moving due east too. Pretty much due east across Lake Michigan. There's a strong water spout. lots of moisture is going into the storm here because it's over a warming body of water. By this time of year, it's probably already pretty warm, so it's adequate for fueling these storms as they get closer to the Michigan shore. So I wouldn't be surprised, you know, if maybe 10 minutes before this approaches the shore that we get a warning out ahead of it. That would be perfectly reasonable in my eyes, in my opinion. So I'm watching that pretty closely because this does look like a strong rotating storm, and several of them even. So the tornado threat is going to continue. We were expecting this into southwest Michigan here. It's still possible. This still could have a tornado ongoing. This looks a little bit more conducive to a very localized area that could have a tornado ongoing. If something is occurring right here, I wouldn't be surprised. But again, I'm really hoping the impacts remain minimal here. We can look at it to confirm, and I don't see anything in particular. It is not co-located. The correlation coefficient is not co-located with an area that would be conclusive for diagnosing a tornado. So not yet. But what I'm starting to see is down here. What I'm starting to see is this storm down here. I was waiting, watching for something to take place right here, and now we can see a proper supercell right where the previous tornado lifted about an hour and change ago. So right here near Stickney and Cicero again, here's our supercell shape. You can see it very, very, very clearly in there. Very clear supercell shape right here taking form. A little bit of this rain shower behind that's pushing it forward, so we may see this hook out in front like this. If that does happen, I would be concerned about a tornado threat immediately downstream of this on the south side. So don't let your guard down yet. This would be very close to Bronzeville, McKinley Park on the south side of downtown here. Yeah, that would be where I would be looking at. Back of the yards. I don't know if you guys call these areas like this, but this is what shows up on Google Maps. Brighton Park, Gage Park, and Inglewood here. A little bit to the north of South Side. We'll see how much of a southern track it would take, but this is definitely a new area of concern that in a couple more minutes with supportive data from our radar site here could be warranted, or it could be worth a tornado warning. So we're going to watch this one as it comes together here. That's for anyone on the south side of the metro, south of I-55. That's where this would be traveling to. Shoes and a pillow. Thank you, Tober. That is my next area of concern. I think that we could see something bad going on there, and I think we could still see something trying up here on the north side of downtown. Again, these are weaker signatures that I've seen, still worth taking shelter for. That's what you call it? Good to hear, good to hear. Not all places do that. Not all places do that, so that's why I asked. Always happy to receive the feedback and let me know. Yeah, Cicero definitely getting the rains. Hopefully you've been taking shelter there in that suburb. Thanks for reporting in. Thanks for reporting in. Yeah, there was probably, that tornado probably didn't last that long here, but it definitely did some really heavy localized damage right in this region from Burr Ridge up through Hodgkins. And still watching here. Still watching, hoping that this isn't doing anything as it passes off. Still see that supercellular shape. That's basically going right up I-55 actually. So you can see it's being pushed forward pretty nicely there, and we still see that supercellular shape right here. That's going right to the south of downtown on a due east track. Rotation hasn't tightened up at all though, so I'm not seeing a pertinent tornado threat. Still watching. Still watching and waiting, but right now it looks okay. It's okay. Very good. Okay. So again, tornado threat is almost over for all of the Chicago Metro. If you are north and west of downtown, you're north of Oak Park, anywhere back behind these storms essentially, so back in this blue bubble here, You're all right. You should be good to go. I don't think we're gonna see any more storms pop up on the back end of this. Okay? I don't think we're gonna see any more pop up on the back end of this. These are all being sparked by our low pressure that was induced by previous storms. So they're spinning up right on the periphery of the low pressure here, and they're not going to be able to do that on the back side of it. Not with a severe threat, at least. Definitely not. So really our tornado threat is focused on the front right quadrant or the bottom right quadrant of our low pressure that's spinning up around here somewhere. And that is why we see these storms being able to rotate right near that rotating mass of air essentially.
Here's the way it's currently looking. I'm not entirely sure, but I believe the sphere of threat may be over. Like, we kind of haven't really gotten much of anything. Like, it rained, like, some of the clouds have looked kind of nasty, but I don't know. I don't think we're really going to get anything. We're still going to monitor just in case. Because it's cooled off out here, actually. This way the clouds are looking. Well, this does look nasty, I will say that. 100% it looks nasty. I know the severe threat for Illinois is pretty much over. I believe for like Chicago is pretty much over. Now, whether or not we get anything out of this, I don't. Starting to look more likely like we're not. Honestly, even though these clouds do look nasty. So, whether or not we get anything out of this, probably. The tornado watch is until 10 o'clock, unless they cancel it. They may cancel it. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if they're going to let it expire. It depends on what, if anything happens. I'm not really seeing anything impressive on the radar as of right now. I mean, we may be equipped with a bottom, we might get equipped with a bottom part of the storm, but that's kind of gonna watch this. It does look nasty back that way, though. I will say that. And it might be the way, you know, this might be all debris, or, like I said, we may get clipped by part of the storm. It does look nasty, though. I will say that. Visually, it looks nasty. There were some tornadoes that did hit Illinois, though, I'll tell you that. And it's not often, you know. Although these clouds are kind of low. I don't know if it's rotating or not. Probably not, more than likely. Because you do got some blue sky over certain parts, though, too. So, let's see. It's still windy out here, though. I'll say that. But yeah, this is the current conditions as of right now. I'm going to continue to monitor just in case, because you never know. Because there's times where I've said, oh, nothing's going to happen, and then suddenly, boom. And there's sometimes where nothing happens. And it's kind of like, well, kind of can't control Mother Nature, unfortunately. That looks kind of impressive over there, too. It's like a thunderhead or whatever. Today has been a very weird day, I will say that, because like this morning it was cool outside too, and then it got warm and then it got humid, and like I said, that dew point was sitting up about 73, And the temperatures were only in the 70s. Like, it was only like 70-something degrees out here. Like 75, I believe. Like, this morning it was like 68, 69. So, like, I mean... And we had them thunderstorm that came through yesterday. They were not severe. They never reached the severe limits, and no warnings were put out or anything like that. That's the current video I uploaded on YouTube. And honestly, we'll gotta see what happens. But like I said, I'm watching to see if this does anything. It may or may not do anything. It might just rain and that'll be it. So I haven't seen any like lightning or anything like that. So there's been no lightning, there's been no thunder, there's been no warnings, at least for here. Chicago, Illinois, that's been a different story. So this may just stop the debris too. Like, I mean, I don't know. So I haven't really seen anything impressive on the radar. Although, you know, this might be something developing, though, too. So, don't know. Only thing you can do is kind of watch it and see if it does anything. If not, then I don't know. Unfortunately, this has turned, you know, I just think, like I said, like at what they were talking about. No, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't looked at any updates from the National Weather Service, so I don't know if they're going to update it and maybe possibly drop the watch. Like I said, the watch is until 10 o'clock, so. It's currently 7:56, so it's almost 8 o'clock. I do got some pretty view of the clouds, though. I mean, these are some pretty clouds. I'll say that, to say the least. So, like I said, we'll just kind of monitor this and see if this turns into anything, and if not, you know, then unfortunately, you know, for Northwest Indiana, it was a bust. I mean, I'm not saying I want a tornado. I mean, I don't want, like, a damaging tornado, but, like, you know, it's not often you get put it, you know, you start getting threes for tornadoes and stuff like that, and having tornadoes likely, so, like, I mean, you know.
That was crazy coverage there for a second. We're definitely gonna see it start to ramp back up here just a little bit. Hopefully this is much less severe, much less life-threatening than what we just saw from Chicago. I'd like that to be the case for next.
counties in Illinois, as well as Lake County in Indiana. Standard broadcasts will be curtailed to bring you the latest severe weather information. This is NOAA Radio, KZ's 81 Lockport. Severe weather is occurring or forecast to occur in our listening area. This station will broadcast severe weather alarm tones for Cook, Lake, DuPage, Will, Kane, Kendall, Kankakee, and Grundy counties in Illinois, as well as Lake County in Indiana. Standard broadcasts will be curtailed to bring you the latest severe weather information. The current time is 8:02 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Tornado Watch number 477 remains in effect until 10 p.m., which includes the following counties in Illinois: Cook, DuPage, Kankakee, and Will, and the following counties in Indiana: Jasper, Lake, Newton, and Porter, and the following: Winthrop Harbor to Wilmette Harbor, Illinois; Wilmette Harbor to Northerly Island, Illinois; Northerly Island to Calumet Harbor, Illinois; Calumet Harbor, Illinois to Gary, Indiana; Gary to Burns Harbor, Indiana; Burns Harbor to Michigan City, Indiana; Lake Michigan from Winthrop Harbor to Wilmette Harbor, Illinois, 5 nautical miles offshore to Mid-Lake, and Lake Michigan from Wilmette Harbor, Illinois to Michigan City, Indiana, 5 nautical miles offshore to Mid-Lake. Remember, a tornado watch means the conditions are favorable for the development of severe weather.
Now I did look at the radar, and there is kind of a cell close by that I'm kind of watching.
While severe weather may not be imminent, persons should remain alert for rapidly changing weather conditions and listen for later statements and possible warnings. Stay tuned to NOAA Weather Radio, commercial radio and television outlets, or internet sources for the latest severe weather information. The following is a special marine warning from the National Weather Service. A special marine warning remains in effect until 8:15 p.m. For the following areas: nearshore waters from Winthrop Harbor to Calumet Harbor, nearshore waters from Calumet Harbor to Michigan City, open waters from Winthrop Harbor to Michigan City out to Mid-Lake at 7:09 p.m. Severe thunderstorms with a history of producing tornadoes were located along a line extending from 9 nautical miles northwest of Wilmette Harbor to near Oviedo Airport to 11 nautical miles west of Ridgway Airport, moving east at 35 knots. Additional waterspout producing thunderstorms were located across parts of the open waters near Mid-Lake. Hazard: waterspouts and with gusts in excess of 50 knots. Source: radar and trained weather spotter indicated. Impact: waterspouts can easily overturn boats and create locally hazardous seas. Boats could suffer significant structural damage in high winds. Small craft could capsize in suddenly higher waves. Locations impacted include Harrison Beaver, Crib, Wilmette Harbor, 31st Street Harbor, Monroe Harbor, Burns Harbor, Calumet Harbor, Winthrop Harbor, Indiana Harbor, Montrose Harbor, Waukegan Harbor, Burnett Harbor, and Hamlet Marina. A tornado watch remains in effect until 10 p.m. for northeastern Illinois, northwestern Indiana, and the adjacent waters of Lake Michigan. The following is a flood watch from the National Weather Service. The flash flood watch has expired for portions of northeast Illinois and northwest Indiana, including the following areas in northeast Illinois: central Cook, DuPage, eastern Will, northern Cook, northern Will, southern Cook, and southern Will. In northwest Indiana, Lake, Indiana. While additional showers and thunderstorms will continue through about 8 to 9 p.m. with the threat for locally heavy rain, the threat for widespread flash flooding has ended. Therefore, the flash flood watch has expired. The following is a river flood warning from the National Weather Service. For the following county: Cook, Illinois. What minor flooding is forecast? Where? Thorn Creek from near Glenwood downstream to confluence with Little Calumet River, including the Thornton Gauge. When? Until tomorrow morning. Impacts: at 9.0 feet, water begins to be diverted through Thorn Creek Diversion Tunnel. Additional details: at 12:40 p.m. Wednesday, the stage was 8.6 feet. Forecast: the river is expected to rise above flood stage early this afternoon to a crest of 9.3 feet late this afternoon and evening. It is then expected to fall below flood stage late tonight. Cloudy. A chance of showers and thunderstorms in the evening. Some thunderstorms may be severe with damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes in the evening. Lows in the mid-60s. Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation 50%. Thursday, mostly cloudy. A slight chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. Highs in the upper 70s inland, but only in the mid-70s near the lake. Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation 20%. Thursday night, mostly clear. Lows in the mid-60s. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, mostly sunny with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms in the morning, then mostly cloudy with a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. Highs in the mid-80s. Southwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation 50%. Friday night, showers likely with a chance of thunderstorms. Lows in the upper
Yeah, I mean,
60s.
if it doesn't come through still, I'll still do it. So it still has to make the alert. We'll see if it does or not. Yeah, these storms are generally moving due east. Play the loop back, you can see they're moving onshore, generally moving due east here. So what we're going to be watching for here is the part of the storm that is more oriented with a north-south component, like this. These are going to be the storms that have a better chance at probably producing what are spin-up tornadoes at this point. So we have a couple of like separate isolated storms that are feeding into the main band, sort of consolidated together out ahead here. This is where we'd see spin-up tornadoes when the line is oriented north-south like this, and less of the case of spin-up tornadoes with the line oriented more like this east and west down here into northwest Indiana. So right now, I'm not super concerned. I'm not as concerned with tornado potential in this area as much as I am with this area. That's where we're watching very closely. And you can see that. You can see several areas of spin, start up and maybe die off just a little bit right as they approach the shore here, where we could have had a couple of water spouts before these storms got on shore. That's what we're seeing right here with this part of the storm that's oriented more north-south like this. So yeah, I think that the primary tornado threat will stay just south of Lansing, definitely south of Grand Rapids, but you can see some of the flooding threat because basically it's raining everywhere in the mid. It's raining almost everywhere here, so there could be some flooding threat, especially where some stronger rainfall is right in this vicinity here. So Lansing and Grand Rapids, your primary concern is probably flooding, while the tornado threat stays a little bit off to your south, despite you being on the northern edge of the watch. So find yourself on the map there. You know where you are in the mid, at least I hope you do. Alright, am I seeing anything? Yeah, we are back in business. Thanks, Brian. Wow. Yeah, this has been great coverage so far. Happy to continue hanging out with y'all. Hopefully, if you're in the Chicago metro, you can have like a breather. It's like you just ran a marathon for a few hours there, staying weather aware. And you can't just sit down after you run a marathon. You gotta walk it off a little. That's the healthiest way to approach something like that. So I'm here. I'm sticking with you guys, even if you're past the point of concern as it stands. Kalamazoo's main concern. Your main concern is going to be probably some strong winds, but also the tornado threat will approach your area here in the next 45 minutes to an hour. Your stormiest hour is coming up. Yeah, and southeast Michigan too will be. It's moving due east. You can see the strongest part of the storm here, and basically where it's not raining right now, where there's no greens. This is where the best air conditions are out ahead of this. So best moisture, best instability for any sort of severe threat or tornado threat would be probably limited to right where I-94 is and to the south. But spin-up tornadoes out in the rain up here is not out of the question. So speaking purely from a thermodynamics perspective, you would look south of I-94. But speaking from also looking at the winds, you would include all of this area out ahead of this line of storms here. So we'll see if that does reach down to Toledo. We'll see if that reaches down into the northeast corner of Indiana at all. But right now we're looking at southwest Michigan. Getting caught up because all the chasers started trying to message me when I was already looking at the terminal radar. These guys are silly. Happy that they're trying to help them. Shouts to Brad Arnold. Chris, even when they're not chasing, they're like, oh man, I gotta watch this. I gotta watch this. These guys are addicted. They need a good barbecue meal, I think, to calm them down. Some good BBQ. Yeah, I mean, if I were in Detroit, I would be slightly worried. But if I were in Detroit, I wouldn't be as worried as if I were over here in Southwest Michigan for sure. I don't know how it's going to evolve, but my gut tells me that it's going to be stable air at the surface at 10 to 11 p.m. It's mostly rain cooled already. It's going to be pretty tough for anything significant to happen over there, but it's not out of the question. Do I have cameras over there? I think so. If Frank is listening, I suppose we can transition outside of the Chicago area for camera feeds. I don't know what we have over here, though. I think there's some, but I don't know if we have one right in the Battle Creek area or what we can do about that. Because I had Riley helping me with the stream today, but he has completely shifted away from working on cameras on my stream. Because Ryan had to go live, and then they had to get on the phone with customer support to restore services. So I don't have anybody helping me directly because they've kind of forgotten about me. I'm just over here doing my stuff.
Okay, guys, I think
Not really hearing.
I don't really think anything's gonna happen.
Whether we'll have some support on that or not, because these storms.
I
are
think
still
the
coming
severe
at.
threat is over. I think the tornado watch may expire.
Just tell me where. Southwest.
So, sadly,
Michigan. I
nothing
suppose
really
as long as
happened,
we're looking
but
at rain, it will be
did capture some
supportive to the novel here.
pretty clouds. Like I said, it.
I saw the tornado in
I
Jefferson
was looking at a
County,
south,
Pennsylvania.
but I
didn't see it, but I saw
don't think
it.
the south is really
Definitely
going to do much of anything.
possible
I
for
think
a few
it's
minutes.
just clouds and the lighting of the sun and all that.
They may have forgotten about
So,
me a little bit over here.
If
Thanks,
anything
dude.
happens,
Thanks,
I
man.
will be back with more footage. If not, thank you for watching the
If
video,
you're on
and I will see you
I-94
next
right now
video.
driving, we're watching these
Stay
storms
strong,
from west to east.
stay
So
listen,
eventually
remember
they're
love is
gonna meet
louder.
up with you. Eventually they'll meet up.